bumping into a few of you guys while we're out at these events outside of our private Oxford Cafe events. So yeah, be sure to check that out. Palmer Woods is a wonderful neighborhood. It's actually the neighborhood with one of the properties we spoke about on a previous episode. So yeah, make sure you guys pop out if you got the time. I know there's a lot going on this weekend, but if you got the time, I think that'd be a really nice event to stroll through, participate in. So yeah, check that out, the Palmer Park Art Fair. Then what else we got on the board? Let's jump around to some fashion business news. Some fashion business news. The world's richest man, Bernard Arnault. Bernard Arnault, as you know, is the LVMH CEO, the French tycoon who owns the top designer brands inside the portfolio of LVMH, like the Louis Vuitton, Tiffany and Company, and Christian Dior. Fortune magazine reported founder Bernard Arnault of LVMH experienced an $11.2 billion loss last week as investors grow increasingly concerned that America's economic slowdown will dampen demand for high-end goods. Over the past year, the share prices of the European luxury companies like LVMH surged despite economic woes. Until last week, yeah, about $30 billion were wiped off the European luxury sector, with LVMH shares dropping about 7% throughout the week. So Bloomberg reported, despite the close to $12 billion loss, the 74-year-old is still $192 billion up. So he's no less rich than he was before taking that loss. He's just a little bit closer to the number 2 most richest person in the world, who is Elon Musk, and he's sitting at 180 billion. So he's about 12 billion away. So if Bernard Arnault take another hit like he did, Elon may sneak up and get that number 1 spot from the world's richest man from him. Yeah, but I also want to see what y'all thought about that. Hit me up on the IG at Oxford Cafe Detroit. What are your sentiments, or what do you feel like the environment on luxury brands are right now, especially these long-standing houses of design and fashion? Where do you see, is your closet, full of luxury brands, or are you rushing to to spend as much? Because for a while they were riding pretty good. It was no effect. The economy had no effect on their bottom line. But after last week, they're starting to feel the pressure, and the economy is starting to talk back, and by letting them know, and the price and the stock price shows. So, but also, if you do your research on the stock, we like dips. I'm not a financial advisor, but go ahead and do your research on LVMH. They are a publicly traded company that you can purchase shares or a fraction of shares on some of these retail stock trading apps. So it's worth checking it out, doing your research on the investing side, because where there's a dip, there's usually a climb. So, do your research on that, check that out. And then on the fashion side, let me know what you guys think as far as where these large design houses sit in 2023 in the world of fashion, going against a lot of these creative boutiques, a lot of these local designers, local fashion houses that you can walk into and get some quality, comparable materials and products. With that said, make sure you guys check out OxfordCafeDetroit.com for some of our new stuff, new drops. Like I said, the hint for the next product is canvas and leather. So I'm gonna let y'all sit with that, and then we're gonna jump on to the next one on the board. What we got next on the board? So let's save. I was gonna get into food, into this global news on the food side, but I want to save that for last. Let's jump into sports really quick. Let's talk Celtics. Took that loss the other day against Miami. So Miami advances to the finals. You got Miami, Jimmy Butler and those boys against Denver, the Joker, and Murray. Those boys been balling. So that Celtics loss, it was unfortunate to see Jason Tatum kind of get hurt virtually on the first play out of the gate, and that unfortunately set a tone for the vibe of the team. You can kind of tell that they just weren't firing the way that they were expected to, but Miami definitely made sure that they kept their foot on the gas, and brought the heat, pun intended. So Miami came away with that Game 7 win. And you got Game 1 of the finals at Miami versus Denver, June 1st. You can catch that. That's 8:30 p.m. Wherever you catch your sports. Let me know what you guys think of that. If you got any watch parties going on, if we should do any watch parties, tap in with us over on Oxford Cafe Group. Drop a line. Let us know if you guys got something going on that you maybe want us to promote. We make sure we put you guys out there and let us know what you want to hear on the listeners. If there's anything going on or that you want more information or details about, make sure you reach over to Oxford Cafe Detroit. Drop us a line. And Oxford Cafe Group, on the events. Drop us a line, and then we'll get back to you on that and see what we can put together. Maybe we can put together something during this finals run. If it goes 7 games, then we got a lot of basketball on the way. But we'll see what we can put together. Let us know if you guys let us know what you guys think. So the next topic we're gonna get into, the one that I wanted to save for the last conversation piece, is a food category, and this is about a story that came out of Korea about gastro diplomacy. So this story came from Sarah Friedman over at The Hustle for HubSpot blogs. So the title of the article is "The $40 million Bet That Made South Korea a Food and Cultural Power." Now, before we jump into that, I want to give you the definition of gastro diplomacy. Gastro diplomacy is a term first coined by The Economist in 2002. And that definition for gastro diplomacy is this happens when governments try to increase the value and knowledge of their nation through food. And that takes me back to kind of the old saying of, if you want to get to know somebody, you get to know them through their culture, through their food. You want to know something about a person's culture, then share a meal with them. To talk a little about a little bit about gastro diplomacy.